be looking at simultaneous equations and how to solve them. For a starter, I chose this really simple problem, but I just want to show you guys two possible methods to figure it out. So first one is probably more common. It's called Elimination Method. Elimination. I think I'm gonna split this kind of in half. Yeah, like this. Okay, so first way to solve simultaneous equations, first method is called Elimination Method. The purpose is basically to eliminate one of variables, so either x or y have to be eliminated. I'm going to try to keep it all together, kind of. Okay, so 5x plus 3y equals 23, 2x plus 4y equals to 12. So at this point, we can't really eliminate anything. To be able to do this, we have to make x or y to have the same digit before them in both equations. So here we have 5x and here we have 2x. The question is, how is it possible to make them the same? They're different right now, 5 and 2. Well, just like with common denominator, we have to multiply each equation by some number that will bring us to the least common multiple. In this case, for 5 and 2, the least common multiple is 10. So we have to make it 10x in both cases. Let's do it. So first equation we're going to multiply by 2, and the second one we will multiply by 5. So we will get 10x, 5x times 2 is 10x, plus 6y. Remember, every part of this equation has to be multiplied by 2. Is equal to 46. Okay, every part. And for second one, we will have 10x. So again, 2x times 5 is 10x. 4y times 5 is 20y. And 12 times 5 is 60. Okay, so we had this pair of equations, and it became this pair of equations. So we multiplied again the first equation, we multiplied it by 2, and we got this. Second equation, we multiplied by 5, and we got this, basically. Okay, so now actually we have to eliminate something. That's where the name comes from. So let's eliminate x by subtracting second equation from the first equation. So we're just gonna, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna subtract each part. So 10x minus 10x will give us 0. Basically, 6y. Remember, we subtract second equation from first equation. So again, here we have kind of actually, why not? I'm just going to, so 10x minus, again this is minus 10x will give us 0x. So actually we don't need to write anything, but let's just write 0. Then we have 6y minus 20y, so that gives us minus 14y. And then finally 46 minus 60 gives us minus 14. Alright, so what we have is we have minus 14y equals to minus 14. I think the rest is quite obvious. We will get the answer. So we can divide both parts by minus 14. The answer is going to be y equals to 1. Right? Is this the end? No. Again, because we have to find both x and y, and we only found y so far. So how do we find x? Very simple. So we take one of the equations, we pick one of the original equations. So first one or second one, up to you guys, doesn't matter. I'll take the first one. So 5x plus 3y equals to 23. And so what we do is we replace y with this value that we found. So we replace y with 1. You're going to get 5x plus 3. Remember, 3y means 3 times y. So we're going to have 3 times 1 equals to 23. Now we can just solve this very quickly. So 5x would be equal to 20. And then x would be equal to 4, of course. So y equals 1, x equals 4. That should be the final answer again. we can write it in alphabetical order. X equals 4, y equals 1. Remember, there's two things that we need to find. There's two variables, x and y. So not just y and not just x, both of them, two. This is why it's called simultaneous equation, because there's two equations in it which we have to solve simultaneously. Alright, so second method is called substitution. A lot of people don't appreciate it enough because sometimes it can be a bit harder. But the advantage of this method is you can solve every equation by using it. Okay, elimination sometimes, like in some specific cases, elimination doesn't work. Substitution is very useful in basically any case. My cable is doing tricks on me. I hope it's not broken. Okay, so substitution. Let's do it. So again, the same equation, but now we're going to use the substitution method. 5x plus 3y equals to 23. 2x plus 4y equals to 12. Okay, so substitution again, from the name, we probably can see that we have to substitute something. In particular, we have to make one of the variables to be the subject. So that's the goal, kind of. So we pick one of the equations. I will choose the second one. Why? Just because I want to. No particular reason. So second equation, I'm gonna pick it, and let's make x the subject. Why not? So we will change it a little bit. So let's make it 2x equals to 12 minus 4y, right? And then this way x would be equal to, so we have to divide everything by 2. So x is going to be equal to 6 minus 2y. X equals to 6 minus 2y. What do we do with this? Well, we take this value that we got, so x equals 6 minus 2y, and we substitute x in another equation, the one which we didn't use yet. We substitute x in this equation with 6 minus 2y. So let's just write it again. So we will have 5x plus 3y equals to 23. Again, don't use the equation where you made x the subject. So don't use this one. Don't use this equation. You have to use the other equation. If you have to substitute into the other equation. So again, x equals to 6 minus y, 6 minus 2y, sorry. So we're going to have 5 times, don't forget about the brackets, so 5 times 6 minus 2y instead of x, plus 3y equals to 23. Now we can open the brackets. Uh, 30 minus 10y plus 3y equals 23 again. Okay, let's just figure it out quickly. So we're going to have minus 7y equals to 23 minus 30 is minus 7. So minus 7y equals minus 7. Y equals to 1. And now we have arrived to the point where both methods become the same. So when you find the first variable, like the second part is the same for both methods. We just converge them. Now we just gotta take one of the equations. So now let's take the other one. So let's take 2x plus 4y equals 12. Let's substitute y into it. So we're gonna have 2x plus 4 times 1 equals 12. Alright, and then x should be equal to 4. You will see it quite quickly. So x equals to 4. We can look at both of these methods side by side. So again, in substitution method, we make one of the variables, make one, in this case we make x the subject, but it can be y, so totally up to you guys. Make x the subject first of all, and then we substitute it. So substitute x in the other equation. So And in the first one, we eliminate stuff. So again, which method to use is completely up to you. As you can see, we get the same results in both cases. So x equals 4, y equals 1. I strongly suggest you to write x first, because again, alphabetic order, you know, x, y, z. So first you write x in the answer, then you write y in the answer. Again, so a lot of people prefer elimination because it can be quicker, but I think substitution is also very, very valid method, very important one. So it's good to know it. It's really, I would say it's necessary to, honestly, it's required to know how it works. So make sure you practice both methods. I think the book mentions it, so you have to practice both elimination and substitution. All right, so let's take a look at some past paper questions on this topic. Where was it? Oh, yeah, it's here. Okay, so let me pick something medium difficult, I would say. Or maybe something hard. Oh, let's do medium difficult. Okay, this is from, again, this is probably from EdExcel paper, yeah. EdExcel GCSE. So GCSE is the British exam. A bit different from IGCSE, but like they're quite close. Okay, let's try this out again. I would strongly encourage you to pause the video at this moment. So take a look at these two methods. Maybe try to pause the video, try to solve this by yourself. I think it's very, very important to practice this particular topic, simultaneous equations, because it comes up a lot on past papers. Okay, I hope you guys tried it. Let's check it together. Which method did you use? Let's try elimination, yeah? So normally the easier one. We can, so how can we eliminate? We can multiply the first equation by 2, so that we will get 6x minus 4y equals to minus 10. And the second equation, we will keep it the same. So 2x minus 4y equals to 2. Okay, all right, so this is a little bit tricky. The tricky part is, do we subtract or do we add them together? Well, let's think about it, right? If we subtract them together, we're gonna have minus 4, sorry, if we add them together, we're gonna have minus 4y plus minus 4y. Again, a plus and minus, they give us the minus, and that will give us minus 8y together. So we don't eliminate y by adding them together. So we actually create more y's. Instead of minus 4y, now we have minus 8y. So does it help? Nope. So let's do something else. Let's subtract them. So I'm going to delete this all. So what happens if we subtract them instead of adding them together? Now we're going to have 6x minus 2x is 4x. And finally, you see, we have here minus 4y minus 4y. All right, minus and minus become the plus, and y's are going to be eliminated. So we can have 0 here. So 4x plus 0 equals to minus 10 minus 2 equals to minus 12. So 4x equals to minus 12. You can see that x equals to minus 3 if we divide both sides by 4. And now that we have x, we can take it, we can put it in one of the equations. I will check the second one. So 2x minus 4y equals 2, but x equals to minus 3. So we put it here. 2 times minus 3 minus 4y equals 2, minus 6 minus 4y equals 2. So minus 4y equals to 8, right? We can add 6 to both sides. And then finally y is equal to minus 2 if we divide both sides by minus 4, like this. So again, x equals to 3 and y equals to minus 2, which is going to be our answer. So sorry, x equals minus 3, y equals to minus 2. Okay, I think that's it for normal equations. Let's take a look at worded problems. So that's the interesting part. Word problems with simultaneous equations. Again, I will start with the easy one, and then I will show you like a really difficult one. That's probably one of the easiest we can find. Let's try this one. Again, the past paper question. That's probably like paper 2, I'm guessing. It will be on IGCSE, it will be paper 2. Okay, so again, read it carefully first of all. Kate buys 2 lollies and 5 chalk ices for £6.50. Pete buys 2 lollies and 3 chalk ices for £4.30. Work out the cost of 1 lolly, give your answer in pence. Let's figure it out. So 2 lollies and 5 chalk ices again for £6.50. 2 lollies and 3 chalk ices for £4.30. Here at this point we probably should write a let x be the cost of 1 lolly. I think by lolly they mean lollipop, I'm guessing. Let me just write lollipop. Sounds weird. Let y be the cost of 1 chalk ice. So if x is cost of 1 lollipop, then 2 lollipops, 2 lollies will be 2 lollies. It would be the cost of 2 lollies would be 2x, so 2 times x. Cost of 5 chalk ices. Oh, I gotta figure this out. 5 chalk ices would be 5y, and we know that together, so 2 lollies and 5 chalk ices are equal to 6.50. The same goes for, again, 2 lollies are 2x, so that's for Kate. Right, this is, we were figuring out the Kate. This is for Pete. 2 lollies. Again, it's 2x, 3 chalk ices. This 3y, and we know that the total cost is, so 2x plus 3y would be equal to 430. 430 in this case. So here we go. This is our 2 equations. So here we can kind of summarize it here. We have a system of equations. 2x plus 5y equals 650. 2x plus 3y equals to 430. This one is basically, this example is basically asking for elimination method, right? Because we already have 2x in both equations, so all we gotta do is we just gotta subtract them, and that's it. So we subtract them from each other. 2x minus 2x is 0, you get nothing. 5y minus 3y is 2y. And finally 650 minus 430 will give us 220. So 2 chalk ices is 220. Then 1 chalk ice, we can divide both sides by 2. We can divide both sides by 2. We would get that y equals to 110. Yeah. Okay, so we found y. It's 1 pound and 10 pences. Now we can just take one of the equations. So let's take the first one, 2x plus 5y equals 650. We just plug y in this equation, and we get 2x plus 5 times 1.10 equals 650. So, and the rest is quite easy. Oops. Okay, we found it. So y equals 110 and x equals 0.50. There's one tricky part about this question. Maybe you noticed it, maybe you didn't, but the question tells us give your answer in pences. So right now the answer is in pounds. We have to convert it to pences. So oh wow, the question is actually is asking us work out the cost of one lolly. So actually, yeah. One lolly, remember, a lolly is x, so the cost of one lollipop is x. So x equals to 0.50 pounds, which is the same as 50 pences. So the final answer should be 50 pences. This is the cost of one lollipop. Okay, that's it for this question. Let's try one which is harder. Let's try the hard question. This one's from the book. There was a really hard question here. Now I just have to find it. Sorry about this, guys. It was somewhere here. Yep. I'm not sure actually if you will see something like this on IGCSE. Right, okay, let's do the medium hard question. I would say number 20 should be good enough. So I was gonna do, maybe I would do a separate video about this. I was going to do this question number 28, but I think it's a bit too hard. Like it's a bit impractical. Okay, so let's try this one. This is better. In 3 years' time, a pet mouse will be as old as his owner was 4 years ago. Their present age is total 13 years. Find the age of each now. Oh, I kind of read it too quickly. I didn't understand anything. Let me just read it one more time. So again, in 3 years' time, a pet mouse will be as old as his owner was 4 years ago. Their present age is a total 13 years. Find the age of each now. Interesting. Okay, so let's say that let x be the age of mouse. Y is going to be the age of owner. Okay, so their present age, so total of their present age is 13 years. So right now, if we add them together, we will get 13. So x plus y, the age of owner, now. So not in the past, but like right now. So x plus y, we know that their present age is total 13 years. So that's going to be our first equation based on this part. This is our first fact, kind of. So we have x plus y equals to 13. Okay, the second fact, which actually is the first in description, is a bit harder to figure out. In 3 years' time, a pet mouse will be as old as his owner was 4 years ago. So in 3 years' time, in 3 years' time, how can we show this? We can show it as x plus 3. All right. Pet mouse will be as old as his owner was 4 years ago. So we can say mouse's age. So this is mouse's age. Mouse's age in 3 years' time. Okay, owner's age. Owner's age 4 years ago. It was y minus 4. All right. So we know that in 3 years' time, so this is mouse in 3 years' time, will be as old, so same age as owner was 4 years ago. It means that x plus 3 is equal to y minus 4. Again, some of these problems, actually a lot of these problems, are just as much about your knowledge of English, about your English comprehension, as they are about maths. And this problem is no exception. You have to be very careful when you read it, because I get confused as well. I was like, what? 2 years time, 4 years ago, what is this about? So you guys try to read it carefully, maybe make kind of like a small diagram for yourself. Maybe that's going to help. So anyway, this is our two equations. So we have x plus y equals 13, and the second one is x plus 3 equals y minus 4. So let's solve them together. X plus y equals 13, x plus 3 equals y minus 4. What can we do here? Here probably it looks like elimination would be alright as well. Like if we move a y here, if we rearrange the second equation a little bit, so we're gonna move y, we're gonna subtract y from both sides, so that, and then also we will also subtract 3 from both sides, so like two things at the same time, so that we're gonna have x minus y equals to minus 7, and x plus y equals to 13. Again, please pay attention. So here I subtracted y so that I could eliminate it from this side, and I also subtracted 3 so that I could eliminate it from this side. So I kind of transfer it here. And now we can simply add them together, or we can also subtract. This is also going to work, but I think I'll just add them together. So we're going to have 2x y minus 5 equals 0. So 13 plus minus 7 equals to 6. So 2x equals to 6. That means that x equals to 3. All right, we know that x plus y equals to 13. If we plug in 3 into this equation, we will get 3 plus y equals to 13, which means that y is equal to 10. So x equals 3, y is equal to 10. Again, remember the question is find the age of mouse and the age of owner. So in the answer should be not just like x equals 3, y equals 10. In this case, the answer should be a mouse. Mouse is 3 years old. Owner is 10 years old. So something like this. Okay, so that's it for this lesson. Have a good time, everyone, and hopefully see you on the next lesson.